Howdy everyone, it's Matt Wright from Extreme Instinct Knives and Survival. I want to demonstrate a few things that make the Extreme Instinct knife I make, the Naked Not Afraid, so special. There's a few things here that make this more than just a knife. It makes it a multi-purpose tool. So the hook on the back, you can use of course to skin something, skin a snake, done a lot of those. But one big important thing it can do is actually reaches up where you can't reach that vine. It's hard to cut that vine. You can actually reach up, pull that vine, and actually cut things down from the tree where you normally wouldn't reach. So that's where that brush hook really comes in handy. The other aspect that you'll see on this knife is you'll see this very trademark hole that we have with this kind of eye drop shape. The hole is actually specifically designed to be able to sit here and actually mill out an arrow or a trap mechanism. By running that back and forth through that hole, you're actually going to create a nice radius and it's going to be smooth. You're going to start taking off the bark, as you see, without cutting into the fibers. And as you pull that bark off, you can now make an arrow, you can make an atlatl dart, or you can also make a trap mechanism where you don't have to risk the potential of carving into too deep and getting into those fibers, potentially, ruining up the entire dowel. So that is two important parts there. The knife itself, of course, is weighted, heavy. You can do a lot of chopping. You can do small stuff like so. You can do little things like this. That's again where that hook comes in handy, is to pull those this way. Now, another thing I found handy is as you're reaching through and you're cutting those vines, if you have a thorny bush, you can pick it up, carry it with that hook. That way you don't actually have to touch it. Second thing that's going to be real handy for you is because this teardrop shape tapers down, what it's designed for is if you were to go up to an agave, a yucca, anything that you need to take the pulp off of, you're going to run it through. If you're processing this for cordage, see, as you run this like so, what it's going to do is it's going to start breaking this down and it's going to turn this into the cordage you need to actually make rope. And all you're going to be doing is you're going to run it through. You're going to start going back and forth until those fibers get broken apart, and this is what you're going to sit there and make a piece of cordage out of. This is now the strong stuff. The other parts have gone away. You do a reverse braid, you can braid it. That's going to be a rope. So the holes that you're going to find on this knife is set up that you can actually lash it onto a stick if you need to, reach up in a tree, chop something down you can't reach. You also could make a spear with it if you have to, but it's mainly going to come in handy to reach up real high, cut down a fruit, cut down a branch that you can't reach otherwise. You're going to lash it through like this to the stick, as well as this lash here, and that's going to be plenty strong to actually reach up and cut something down. You're also going to see on the back of the knife, we'll have the metal exposed. With that steel exposed, that is your greatest tool to actually bust open nuts, drive something in the ground. If you need to try to break a rock, this is the end to use. You want to try to avoid any rock contact with the rest of the knife, but this is the part, if you need to use it and abuse it on something seriously hard, that's what that's designed for, is the crusher. The back of the knife, some have a saw blade, some are straight. I prefer the straight edge back here myself, because that way you can sit there and you can hold the knife up, you can choke on it like this, do some small detail work. Really nice way to actually choke up and do small stuff is actually going to be using your thumb into this little index hole, and you can actually sit there and skin a small animal with it. Now the knife's shape is designed to actually use as a draw knife. What you're going to be doing is you're going to hold up here. Be cautious, there is a sharp edge there with the hook, but if you hold your hand, you're going to actually have a nice safe way to grip it. You're just going to grip it like so, and you're going to work that like a draw knife. Where this is going to come in handy is these little paper thin sections. This is going to be what some of your best fire starter is, but sometimes you got to get further into that log. So as you pull that through, you now have control to sit there and make this nice feathered out stick and this nice crumbly paper. So draw knife's going to be incredibly easy for that. All right, so the Naked Not Afraid knife, it's a large knife, weighs almost 2 pounds. It is a beast. It's without a doubt the one knife you're going to need if you're going out in the woods. Now, if you want slightly smaller, something you can carry a little easier, we got 2.0. The 2.0 Naked Not Afraid knife is an exact scale down of the large knife with still a large enough handle to get a good hold on it. I have an extra large hand myself, and I can hold this knife beautifully. The nice thing with this 2.0 knife, same features, same brush hook, skinning hook, the same arrow making hole here, as well as the cordage to process teardrop that you see. Still got the holes in it. You can lash it on a stick, hold it up, cut something down, make a spear out of it. And the nice part is, because it's smaller, you can do some very small detailed stuff that you can't maybe do with the large knife, and it's a little easier to carry on your person. So version 2.0, naked not afraid, still savage, still wild, but you got to keep it sharp either way. So whether you go big or you're going versatile, either one.